So I thought I'd seen it all in this Honda Odyssey, 2015 Honda Odyssey behind me. I do all my own service work. This is my second Odyssey. I had a 2005 and then it's 2015. But we were on a trip to in Pennsylvania from Virginia last week, 330-mile trip. And we took a ride into Philadelphia, about an hour ride. And coming out of Philadelphia is about 95 degrees, and my wife's driving. I'm in the back kind of with the dog, keeping him calmed down. He was a little stressed out. And she said, oh, the engine light just came on, the yellow engine icon that comes on in the dash. And I do all my own work, and within the last 15,000 miles, I've done all the major service, spark plugs, timing belt, coolant, water pump, battery. So everything, mechanically, I understand, and I knew was in tip-top shape. So right away, I'm thinking, it's generally, something in the breathing of the vehicle. That's all it could be, an O2 sensor or some kind of air problem. So the car was running fine. We traveled another 30 miles back to where we were staying, and I popped the hood and started poking around. So I'm looking at the air, fuel and fire and all the sparking and all that I knew was fine. So I popped the hood and started poking around. I thought, well, I don't remember the air filter. I don't remember changing the air filter. So I popped the air filter box, and was going to look at the air filter and pull it back, and lo and behold, it's called the air intake hose, which is this hose here. This is a new one, was split. So this is the old one, and it was split pretty much from here, 180 degrees, all the way to here. So I was able to pop it off, and with these two band clamps here and here, and then you have to take this hose clamp. This is some kind of I don't know, vacuum hose or some kind of monitoring hose, but this hose goes pretty deep in there. It goes, probably almost an inch. But you can, once you get this band clamp loose here and here, you can pull. I was able to pull it loose, take the air box off, unplug this. There's two connections here and here that I disconnected, just the electrical connections. They pop right off, and was able to pull this off and work this hose out of this intake and pull it down. And then I got my wife to hold the split together, and I just wrapped it with electrical tape. So drove for another 30 miles, and the check engine light went off. It was running, the vehicle seemed to be running much better than I ever remember it. So that was fixed, but I wanted to get a hose before we came back home. So I ran to Autozone, not expecting to find one of these, but they actually had one. So this kind of leads me to believe that this is a part that, the fact that they had it in stock, that is a failure part. I've never seen one fail. Don't know why it was split there, unless, when I had the air box off at one time, or someone else that, they split the hose. It was split on the bottom, and it got, so big that it was 180 degrees around. So I'm suspecting it was split for a long time, and they did have, this was $42 at AutoZone on the shelf, didn't have to order it, which was pretty amazing. So, it's a 10-minute job to change this, and I was back on my way. And the vehicle seemed to run better than I ever remember. So we came home 230 miles home, and used, the gas mileage was fantastic. Used 5/8 of a tank of gas to get 235 miles. So yeah, I'm suspecting that there was a crack in there for a long time. And you know, the performance of the fuel burn was certainly not optimal. So it was getting too much air. So a couple tips. This screw is kind of tough to get out because, you know, it was rusted in here. I was able to do it with a Phillips screwdriver, but it was tough. I really had to put a lot of pressure on here. But this is a 5.5 millimeter hex head. So, you know, if you do have a 5.5 millimeter hex head, that's what you want to use instead of Phillips head, because I really had to, you know, lean on it with my chin to get it to back out. So yes, this never would have thought, but this, I guess this eventually gets dried out and cracks and splits. So yeah, just wanted to share that. I just thought I'd share that for anybody that knows that, you know, is driving their vehicle, their Honda Odyssey minivan. Mine's, I don't know what gen it is, 2015, maybe third or fourth gen. But you have this generation Honda Odyssey and you get a check engine light and you know everything is in good shape. I also put an alternator on this in the past 15,000 miles. So I was confident that, you know, it was something with the air box. So check your air intake hose. If you do get a check engine light and you know everything else is good, and look for that split, and it may be as simple as that. And to seal it, you really can't seal it with it on. You know, this duct tape job, I had to take it off, and my wife held it together, and I just, you know, went around while she was squashing it together. And I could have driven home. I could have driven 330 miles with this the way it was, like this, because the check engine light went out and it was running fine. But luckily, I was able to find this Dorman part at AutoZone and was good to go. So yeah, another, you know, case for DIY your stuff, so you're not stranded. You can do a little troubleshooting on your own. It was, you know, in the evening. I think I was in AutoZone an hour before they closed. But yeah, if I would have had to go to a mechanic and, you know, they would have put a sensor on it, and I don't think the sensor would have said, you know, some cylinders are running lean. And then who knows what they look at from there. So yeah, got this one fixed pretty easily, and thought I'd share it with other Odyssey owners. So until next DIY, keep moving forward.